Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Life, Love and Relationship. My name is Oluwakemi.
Now, back to what I was saying. You have a sense of responsibility, accountability to give to your partner. One way to help you as a man to be vulnerable is you remember that, okay, we have an agreement, we have a plan, this is what we're doing. Now, I need to get back to this woman, to this person, and based on what we discussed and all of that, this is where I'm at. These are the challenges. This is my pain. This is how I feel. I might need help here. It would be nice if you could come on board and help me, take care of this, answer to this. I know I can't do everything by myself. I mean, I'm a very expressive man. I don't bottle things up. It's true. And I let you understand that, see, my mental health and
It's
so
very
many,
important,
it's very
yeah.
important because
Yeah.
I need to keep this house together.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the moment a man is not in the house, you know.
When a man yearns for
When the woman,
vulnerability,
or when the woman yearns for inclusion, is that what you're saying?
no. Two dimensions to the question. First of all, those moments, we've talked about how leadership can be lonely.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting for me to learn that this also happens in marriage, right? Because we're talking about the male perspective. So you've shared that sometimes it can be like that in marriage. And that's scary because this is an institution that you're coming together to ensure that you have help, you have company. But here you are, sometimes lonely as well.
Yeah.
So how do you, when you yearn for those moments and you want to balance your role as a leader in that marriage, how do you help yourself to fulfill the need for you to be seen as you are, to come uncensored? How do you encourage yourself to do it? And then how do you encourage your partner to receive you in a constructive manner that helps your common goal in that marriage?
So I'll go back to the point I was expressing, which is accountability, holding yourself accountable and knowing that you have to call it reports. You have to go back to some place and give an account and say, oh, because we have a set. First thing is there has to be couples goals, direction where you guys are headed as a couple and all of that. We don't emphasize on this a lot. Goals as couples is very important.
Then
That's what brings about what's it called now, bond. Because you guys, agree to something and you're moving in a particular direction. So now, when I'm reminded as a man or as the head of the home that, oh yes, I'm the head of the home, this is that, but I need to be accountable. I need to give account of these and all of that. And in a way, that helps you to shed all of that,
Weight.
all of that weight that you're carrying about and that you're internalizing and all of that. You can go to your partner and say, man, this is what happened today. Oh." Sometimes when you just share how your day has been, when you just share, so it helps you to just shed off that weight. And as you do that, there's this closeness. You get closer to your partner, and it encourages you to want to share. It's like almost therapeutic.
Yeah. Therapeutic.
Yes,
Yeah.
almost like, man, once I'll talk about this thing with my wife. I'll talk about this thing with my partner. Man, this is how, this is blah, 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 blah. That's the answer the first. That's one way. There are several other ways, but that's one way. Accountability, feeling that that's your safe spot.
Yeah.
Your safe spot. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the project, that is where you unburden. You just go down and just unwind and, put a bit of it on her shoulder. See it as that. Give her some. Let her hold.
Acknowledging that you have help.
Yeah.
And using the help you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes, the funny thing about women is that sometimes as a man, you might have a strong knot somewhere. Psychologically, professionally, sometimes a strong knot that you're unable to crack or to loosen. And you just share with a woman and it will be the easiest task for her to just help you with that knot without even thinking about it twice. She's done it.
Just say something that
Because,
go back and try that thing and it works.
That perspective, because of your nature, you are not exposed to that perspective. And sometimes the hardest of tasks or issues or problems, the solutions are simple things. But you feel because the problem is a complex problem, the solution should also be complex. You understand? And it's just moving this thing this way. And that's where the woman comes in. Have you tried moving it? It's happened to me several times. Have you moved it this way? And voila. But sometimes another thing, vulnerability, accepting that she has done a better job. Yes, how did you do it? And you let her gloat in that moment. That's vulnerability. I can't always figure it out. I can't always be the man every moment. You've done it and you've done it a better way. So I want to learn from it.
How do you help the woman to respond in such a constructive manner that is helpful to your common goal?
Okay.
Right? Because we established earlier that sometimes that vulnerability can be used against you. But as the leader, how can you come and, anticipate that will happen? But what can I do to control that? That may happen, actually.
I think the best way to go about it is this. I'm going to, if I were the one offering a solution, this is what I would say. I would help the woman understand how to help me be vulnerable. Now, men like space. We compartmentalize a lot. When it's time for my football, if I am a football fan, if I love football, let me have my football in peace. I say one thing, that as you advance in age as a man, you find out that there are a lot of things that you no longer have, either you no longer have strength for, or they don't interest you anymore.
Lose interest. Yeah.
Yes.
Even for women. Yeah.
So
look at me now. We see me without makeup. There was a time that
you see
I couldn't step out of my house without makeup.
Exactly.
But all of a sudden I just lost interest.
It's your life happens to you, and you get a firm grip of the things that are important. You find out that a lot of things is sold to you as important. One moment, those things were actually not super important.
Well, I still like makeup. So
it's good.
You come and quote me, I still like it, but I don't feel the need to do it on a daily basis anymore.
Okay, so why I made mention of football as an example is you won't find me hopping about the whole area, all of that, going out, and there's no strength for that. I'm not even interested in that anymore. Noise and no, I love my peace and quiet. So Saturdays, I love to watch sports. This is just an example. I love my space. I love space. So for so many other men, they express their space in different forms and all of that. So men like space. In other words, whatever it is you're doing, whatever help you're rendering, however you're coming in as a woman, ensure one thing, that space for the man is maintained. Say for instance now, back to vulnerability. I have a problem I have shared with you. I told you this is my problem. I'm vulnerable. You know that when it comes to this, I'm not so much strengthened. It's not my strong suit. But it's something that happens, perpetually for me. I need to attend to this task. But you're stronger at doing it. It's my task, but you're stronger. Now you want to help. You need to help in such a way that I still feel like I am in charge. Make me feel like I'm not entirely useless. I'll give you a very good example. Maybe this will help. So I'm out of job. You have your job. All of a sudden, taking care of the family and everything, automatically
rests on your shoulder.
Rests on your shoulder as a female or as a partner or as a woman. Now, when you do it, I know you will do it with love, because you're my partner or my wife. But when you do it, save my face. Give me something to hold on to. Do not make me entirely feel like this was all me. Like I did not even contribute. If you're able to do that around me, being vulnerable around you,
be easy peasy.
It should be nothing. Okay, for instance, now there was something that, like a story like this woman, the man lost the job, the woman defending for the family and everything. And every time they show up outside and everything, nobody could suspect that the man was out of job. It was always like the man was still taking the forefront, was always representing them like he was one. Meanwhile, the woman was wondering everything. Right? Now that type of woman, a man will find it very easy to discuss, to tell her things, to tell her that, hey, I need help, because he knows that it's a safe place. So when you're done helping, there's no point in life that I feel, oh man, maybe she shouldn't have known, she shouldn't have been the one to do this. It will feel like it's all of us doing it. It will feel like he led. While this thing was being done, he was the one that led the way. He was the one that did everything. Meanwhile, it was my woman. It's a teamwork after all. No, I'm not saying all women are like that. But what I'm saying is that whenever you're helping a man to stop, just Respect his
Yeah.
space. You see that space, just let him have it. The space to move around. Don't let him feel choked. But like I said to you, if you're an emotional person and you're trying to help someone, you can actually choke someone with your help. You can smother. That's the word. You can smother with love. You can do too much of it, and it's like you're hugging someone and you're holding on too
Too
tight.
tight, yeah.
Then
It becomes
you
uncomfortable.
just let me
Yeah.
breathe. It's love. You're trying to love, but
Yeah.
before you know it, you're harming while you're loving. So
Yeah.
you love a bit, give space. Do you want me to come in at this one? Do you need help? Is it time for me to come in? Give me a little time. Okay.
I would say something from a female perspective. When you see women in such a situation, for example, the one you used as an example where you were talking about a woman now leading the financial responsibilities of the home, when you dig in, I've been privileged to speak with couples
All
and
right.
hear the pains of the woman as well. That may stem from insecurity, especially when he's a guy that has been reckless in probably sleeping around. If tomorrow there's a woman who is interested because she feels that he's the one bringing the money, and that interest is because of that. Your wife who is with you, she's with you thick and thin. So if a woman feels the need to show that I'm the one, firstly, it is insecurity. But it may also be insecurity generated from how the man has conducted himself. How do you help such a woman? How does she balance it?
Okay. So life itself is not perfect. We as human beings can never be perfect. This is not to make excuse for any bad behavior or anything, but when you're married to someone, you're married to everything. You're married to every aspect of them. It's not a part of them and everything. So they might have character flaws. We all have character flaws and all that. So at some point, you
This is not a character flaw. This is something that threatens the existence of that marriage. Cheating is a whole kind of
now,
worm.
when I say character flaws, I am not picking on cheating. I've decided not to pick on a specific. You said cheating, and when you said cheating, you didn't say financially.
No. So I was trying to explain earlier that when you see women do this, if a woman is picking up the financial responsibility of the home because the
And she's
man
owning
is
it.
down and she's owning it,
Yes.
it stems most time from insecurity because the man has conducted in him, maybe because I didn't use the word cheating, the man has conducted in himself in such a manner that makes the woman feel the need to protect her territory. So should there be any woman on the outside who is interested in the man simply because he seems to be doing well? She wants to tell the woman that, I don't know if my question is clearer now.
Your question
How
is
do you
very-
help that woman?
Your question is very clear, but we're also chatting on marked territories. We're talking vulnerability now. What
Yeah.
you've opened up now, if we enter it, it's no
Yeah,
longer
it's-
vulnerability.
yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to stay away from. I want to stay on vulnerability.
Okay.
Because this is huge. What you
Yeah.
just mentioned now is huge. It's another topic for another day. And that's why I said maybe character flaws. Maybe the man has been unaccountable at some point. It doesn't have to be that he slept around. He could have mismanaged funds. Just that maybe they had funds, joint funds for something, and then out of maybe trying to satisfy some desire, he went to buy. Do you get what I'm trying to
Toy.
say? Yeah, he went to buy a toy, maybe a motorcycle, he buy something fanciful, and you're like, wow. So you're cautious. Like, I can't trust this guy.
How does that woman balance?
That's where I'm going. Like, you have to forge ahead. You have to move on. And that is where transparency and accountability comes back in. That is you accounting for your actions, your thoughts, because you are now transparent that, okay, we'll see. I actually like this thing. Share it. I like it, but I'd love to get it, but based on I can't go for this right now. She knows that you like it. Who knows? The next
She might even get it for
that's
you.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
The next Val gift might just be that thing. Or your next birthday, or she might just buy it and give it to you. But you've opened up. And if you can do that, she won't have issues. Even if you have overstepped at some point, that's a way to walk your way back into her heart and say, you know what, I'm transparent. This is it. And you asked me to do this, but at this point, or we agreed to do this, at this point, I saw this person And I had to make a decision there without consulting you. And this is what I've done and all of that. So if as a man you can do that, I don't think, because the way the woman would check her own emotion now is based on your legacy to transparency.
Legacy.
Yes, to transparency.
So what she's seen, how she's seen you lead.
Yes. So she knows that this is how to check it. I might be wavering emotionally, but we have a system, the system of transparency and accountability. And once we get to that system, I'm fine. Whatever my feelings or emotions are, I go back to that system of transparency and should be fine. Because there's a note to consult.
Wow. Wow. This has been a very, very interesting and rich conversation. I really want to thank you for making out the time. There's a lot that I still love to ask, but I know we've covered so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for making out.
I've had so much fun, and this is a beautiful program.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you for watching till the end. If you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe right now. Remember as well to put on your notification buttons, because we intend to bring your way more interesting videos that we can all learn from. Thank you. Bye.